You are not just a body. You are a field in vibration. This phrase might sound poetic, but it's not poetry. It's physics. It's biology. It's the truth that pulses silently beneath the skin, behind the eyes, behind every thought, emotion, and action. The truth that, once understood, has the power to change everything. Nikola Tesla once said, "If you want to understand the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." Einstein, in turn, reminded us that matter is nothing but energy whose vibration has been lowered to the point of visibility. And more recently, studies from the HeartMath Institute have shown that our heart generates a powerful electromagnetic field, one that not only affects us internally, but also extends beyond the body, interacting with the world around us. And yet, most people live disconnected from this. They live tired, emotionally overwhelmed, trapped in repeating patterns, and don't even realize that all of it has an invisible root, the vibration they're operating in. We live in a world that teaches us to control the external, but neglects the internal field. We're educated to chase more effort, more information, more control, when in truth, real power lies in something much more subtle and silent: the frequency we emit. How many times have you asked yourself why certain situations keep repeating? Why you attract the same types of people, the same challenges, the same frustrations? What if the answer isn't in your conscious decisions, but in the unconscious vibration you're transmitting? In this video, we're going to demystify the phrase, "You are what you vibrate." We'll show that it's not just a modern mantra, it's science applied to identity. We'll dive into the vibrational structure of the body, the mind, the emotions. And more than that, we'll reveal how you can take control of your energetic field. You are much more than your thoughts, much more than your body. You are a living frequency. And right at this very moment, you are broadcasting something. The question is, do you know what you're vibrating? And if you don't, are you ready to find out? Have you ever wondered what lies behind the solidity of a table, the weight of a body, the density of a thought? When we look at the world, our eyes see shapes. Our touch feels matter. But science, when it looks deeper, sees something else: movement, vibration, frequency. Everything that exists, absolutely everything, is made up of atoms. And what is an atom? A tiny nucleus made of protons and neutrons, surrounded by a cloud of electrons in constant motion. But here's the essential point. 99.9999% of an atom is empty space, or more precisely, structured vibration. Physicist Albert Einstein once said that matter and energy are two sides of the same coin. His famous equation equals mc squared reveals that everything we call matter is actually condensed energy. What seems solid is simply slowed down vibration, concentrated, organized in a way our senses can perceive as real. When we dive even deeper, we enter the field of quantum physics. On the subatomic level, particles like electrons behave in curious ways. They're not just things, they are also waves. Depending on how they're observed, they can act like a localized particle or like a wave spread across space. This phenomenon is known as wave-particle duality, and it shows us something extraordinary. Reality is not static. It is moldable, fluid, and responsive to vibration and observation. In 1967, scientist Hans Jenny developed a field of study called cymatics, the study of form generated by sound. By placing fine sand on metal plates and exposing them to specific sound frequencies, Jenny observed that the grains of sand would form complex geometric patterns. Each sound, each frequency, created a unique shape. And when the frequency changed, the shape changed too. What does this mean? That frequency shapes form, that vibration structures reality, and that our own physical and energetic structure is deeply influenced by the frequencies we resonate with. This principle applies not just to sound, but also to light, thought, emotion, all of which have specific vibrational signatures. When you feel anger, sadness, joy, or love, your body and energy field vibrate in a measurable and distinct way. You literally emit a different frequency in each state. And if you're made of trillions of atoms, and if each atom vibrates, then you are, above all, a living vibration. And vibration is not just what you feel, it's what you are. Therefore, the statement, "everything is energy," is no longer just a spiritual metaphor or esoteric idea. It's a scientific fact. But science goes even further. It shows us that this energy is in constant vibration, that this vibration can be measured, and that it deeply influences how we live, feel, and experience the world. As quantum physicist John Hagelin said, at the subatomic level, reality is composed of energy fields vibrating in different patterns. If vibration defines the shape, the behavior, and even the destiny of particles, then it also defines the invisible structure of your reality. The universe vibrates. Life vibrates. You vibrate. The question is not whether you're vibrating, but at what frequency. And that changes everything. If everything in the universe vibrates, including you, then an inevitable question arises. What is your frequency? Not the kind you tune into on a radio, but the frequency that emanates from your body, your mind, your heart. The frequency you transmit, consciously or unconsciously, every day of your life. That frequency is your vibrational identity. It's not found in your ID or in what others say about you. It's in what you feel, think, choose, and energetically sustain, even when no one is watching. Let's start with the brain. Neuroscience has already proven that the human brain operates at different brainwave frequencies, depending on your mental and emotional state. Beta waves, 13 to 30 Hz, activated during alertness, stress, or focused concentration. Alpha waves, 8 to 12 Hz, associated with relaxation and creativity. Theta waves, 4 to 8 Hz, linked to meditative states, deep creativity, and emotional insight. Delta waves, 0.5 to 4 Hz, present during deep sleep, cellular regeneration, and unconscious connection. These waves are real electrical vibrations, measurable through EEGs, electroencephalograms. Your mind literally vibrates, and as your vibration shifts, so does the quality of your perception, your memory, your intuition, and your connection with the world. But the brain doesn't vibrate alone. There is another powerful vibrational center, often overlooked: the heart. The HeartMath Institute, a leading authority on cardiac coherence research, has shown that the heart generates an electromagnetic field up to 60 times stronger than that of the brain. And this field expands beyond the physical body. It can be detected several feet away. This field is highly sensitive to emotions. When you feel love, gratitude, or compassion, the heart enters a state of coherence, a harmonic, smooth, and stable pattern. When you feel anger, fear, or resentment, the field becomes incoherent, chaotic, fragmented, affecting not only your immune system, but also the energy you project into your environment. In other words, your emotions are vibrations in motion. They're like songs your body plays, and the universe responds to the melody you emit. Want an example? Have you ever walked into a room and felt that the energy was heavy? Or met someone who seemed to radiate light without saying a single word? That's not mysticism. That's your unconscious reading of the energetic field. Your body perceives and reacts to these frequencies all the time. Your vibrational identity is made up of all these factors. Your brain waves, your predominant emotions, your most frequent thoughts, your energetic habits, your deepest intention. It's as if you were a biological radio, constantly transmitting and receiving frequencies. The question is, what station are you tuned into right now? Are you vibrating in fear or confidence? In scarcity or abundance? In guilt or self-responsibility? In self-abandonment or loving presence? Science has already shown that even human DNA responds to emotion. A study conducted by the HeartMath Institute revealed that when people felt positive emotions like gratitude and love, DNA strands expanded and flowed more freely. When subjected to negative emotions like anger and fear, the DNA contracted. Your body literally opens or closes based on your emotional frequency. And more. These frequencies impact your immune system, cellular health, heart rhythm, sleep patterns, and even brain regeneration. The frequency you emit doesn't just determine how you feel, it shapes how you live. That's why it's not enough to just think positive. You must vibrate in coherence. Think love, feel love, act with love. That is your true vibrational signature, and it's one of a kind. No one on earth vibrates exactly like you. You are a living, unrepeatable frequency. And the beauty of it all? That frequency can be adjusted, refined, elevated. But before you learn how to change it, you need to recognize where you are. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that surrounding your body is a subtle mist, invisible to the eyes, but very much alive. A kind of personal atmosphere that extends a few inches, or even several feet, beyond your skin. This mist vibrates, pulses, and constantly shifts. It reacts to your thoughts, your emotions, your environment, the people around you. That mist is your personal field. And yes, it's measurable. In spiritual traditions, we call it the aura. In integrative medicine, it's known as the biofield. In science, it's recognized as the electromagnetic field of the human body. For a long time, the aura was treated as a mystical concept, something reserved for esotericism or metaphysics. But modern science has begun to shed light on this phenomenon, showing that what was once merely intuited can now be observed, recorded, and even consciously altered. The foundation of this understanding lies in physics. Anything with moving electrical charge generates an electromagnetic field. Our bodies are made of billions of cells that communicate electrically. The heart beats, the brain fires impulses, muscles contract. In other words, you are a biological power plant. And like any power plant, you emit a field. This field is detectable by devices such as the magnetocardiogram (MCG), which measures the field generated by the heart, and the magnetoencephalogram (MEG), which measures the field of the brain. Both confirm that the human body emits measurable signals that extend beyond the skin. An impressive visual example comes from Kirlian photography, developed in the 1940s. This technique captures the electromagnetic discharges around objects and living beings. When photographing the fingertips, for example, you can observe a kind of glow or halo vibrating around them, a visual record of the bioelectric field. In plants and living foods, This glow is intense and dynamic. In inanimate objects, it simply doesn't appear. But the most fascinating part isn't just that this field exists. It's that it changes. It reacts to your mental presence, your emotional state, your intention. When you enter a space filled with tension, your field can contract. When you're near someone who inspires you, your field expands. When you meditate, pray, dance, or breathe deeply, the field reorganizes. It becomes coherent. Studies on heart rate variability, HRV, have shown that the heart's field reorganizes during states of calm, gratitude, or compassion, and that this reorganization affects the surrounding field, even influencing other people. That explains why certain places feel heavy, not because of anything physical, but due to the accumulation of frequencies emitted by those who were present. Or why, without a word being spoken, you can feel when someone is sad, angry, or joyful. Your fields are communicating, because yes, energy fields interlace. They do not exist in isolation. When two bodies come close, their fields influence one another, just like two magnets interact when they approach. That's why the idea of protecting your energy is not just symbolic. It's real. You are permeable to external vibrations, but you are also a powerful emitter. And the more conscious you are of your vibration, the more you influence your environment, instead of being influenced by it. Your energetic field is both a transmitter and receiver. It sends messages and picks up signals. It records memories, stores traumas, reflects intentions. It is an extension of your consciousness, vibrating all the time. Now that you know your aura is not just a metaphor, but a vibrational reality, the powerful question arises: what are you transmitting right now? Have you ever had the feeling that certain patterns keep repeating in your life? Relationships with the same dynamics. Challenges that return in a different disguise. Opportunities that always seem to slip through your fingers? It might seem like coincidence or even karma, but the explanation could lie in something more direct and far more powerful. Vibrational resonance. In physics, resonance occurs when two systems vibrate at similar frequencies. If you strike a specific note on a guitar, for example, another string tuned to the same frequency might vibrate on its own, even though you didn't touch it. This happens because similar frequencies amplify each other. The universe follows this same principle. Everything vibrates, and everything that vibrates resonates. When you emit a vibrational frequency through your thoughts, emotions, and inner states, that vibration doesn't just vanish. It propagates like waves, and those waves search for similar frequencies in the surrounding field. It's as if the universe functions as a quantum mirror, reflecting back to you whatever you maintain in your field. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. This doesn't mean you're to blame for everything that happens to you, but it does mean there is an energetic correspondence between you and the events that manifest in your life. Let's think of some closer to home examples. Imagine that you vibrate scarcity, even though you say you want prosperity. You dream of abundance, repeat positive affirmations, but inside you feel fear, doubt, attachment, comparison. Your field is broadcasting lack, even if your mind says otherwise. And the universe, obeying the law of resonance, responds. With limited opportunities, closed doors, relationships that reinforce that same sense of lack. Now imagine someone who sincerely cultivates feelings of gratitude, presence, and worthiness. Even without talking much about manifestation, this person vibrates inner abundance, and as a result, naturally begins to attract synchronicities, encounters, and unexpected solutions. The difference is not in the desire. It's in the emotional frequency being sustained. That frequency vibrates louder than words and farther than actions. As we've already seen, the heart's field, scientifically measurable, is the most powerful energy generator in the body. And it responds directly to what you feel, not just to what you think. Which is why we can confidently say, you manifest from your emotional field, not just from your rational mind. When emotions, thoughts, and actions are aligned, the field becomes coherent. And a coherent field attracts coherent opportunities. Think of the world as a vast vibrational spectrum, where each possibility exists at a specific energetic frequency. You can only access certain possibilities when you tune into the right frequency. Just like a radio can only receive a specific station when you turn the dial to the exact number. This is the most common mistake people make. They desire something on one level, but vibrate the opposite on another. They want love, but vibrate neediness. They want freedom, but vibrate fear. They want success, but vibrate self-sabotage. And then, when reality doesn't match what they asked for, they conclude that life is unfair, when in fact, they're simply resonating with an incoherent vibration. There's an old saying that sums it up perfectly. Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you vibrate. And the good news? Just like an instrument can be tuned, you too can tune your frequency. And when you do, you begin to notice that the world around you changes, without you needing to force anything. The right people start to appear. Difficult decisions become clearer. Synchronicities multiply. Because now you've stopped swimming against the current and started resonating with it. Now that you understand that you vibrate, that your identity is a living frequency, and that life responds to you through resonance, we arrive at the most powerful part of this journey, the possibility of change. Because yes, vibration is something you can train. It's not a gift reserved for the enlightened, nor is it a matter of luck. It's practice, it's science, it's presence. And the more conscious you become of your vibrational state, the more tools you gain to recalibrate it. It's like learning to play an instrument. At first, it may seem challenging, but with intention and consistency, you begin to tune your frequency with precision. Let's now explore 3 essential dimensions to change your vibration: body, mind, and field. Each one influences the other, and together, they shape your energetic reality. Your body is your vibrational temple, and everything you do with it, or neglect to do, directly impacts the quality of your frequency. Breathing and heart coherence. The way you breathe determines the rhythm of your heart, and your heart rhythm directly affects your electromagnetic field. The HeartMath Institute has developed simple heart coherence techniques that align heart and brain, reducing stress and raising vibrational frequency. Simple practice: inhale for a count of 5, exhale for a count of 5. Do this for 3 minutes while focusing on feelings like gratitude or compassion. This reorganizes your field in just minutes. Conscious movement. Practices like yoga, walking in nature, free-form dance, or even gentle stretching activate stagnant energy. Movement unlocks the body, and where there's flow, there's high vibration. Tip: try intentional movement. Dancing with your eyes closed, truly feeling the music in your body, can be as transformative as a therapy session. Vibrational nutrition. Food carries frequency. Fresh fruits, raw vegetables, seeds, and living foods have high energetic charge. The more natural and less processed the food, the more it supports the elevation of your field. Avoid eating in negative emotional states, because what you feel while eating also vibrates. The mind is like an antenna that modulates the vibration of your field, either toward harmony or chaos. Meditation and neuroplasticity. Functional MRI studies have shown that regular meditation physically alters the brain. It enhances areas related to compassion and reduces those associated with anxiety. Your mental vibration changes when you quiet the noise and observe your inner space. Start with just 5 minutes a day, not to empty the mind, but to create space between one thought and the next. That space is where vibration begins to shift. Visualization with emotion. Neuroscience has shown that the brain does not distinguish between external reality and a vivid visualization infused with real emotion. When you visualize something with intention and deep feeling, you activate the same neural network that would be triggered if you were actually experiencing it. Visualize the reality you desire, but feel it as if it already exists. Emotion is the magnetic fuel of vibrational manifestation. Belief reprogramming. You cannot vibrate above the beliefs you hold. Thoughts like, "I'm not capable," "that's not for me," or "I always have bad luck," carry a vibrational weight that sabotages your field. Use affirmations combined with meditation. Example, "I am resonance of abundance and purpose." But remember, without feeling, they're just words. Vibration shifts when the affirmation becomes an emotional belief. The field around you influences and is influenced by you. Changing your vibration also means protecting and uplifting the environment that surrounds you. Sacred environments. Have you ever noticed that certain places bring instant peace? Your field recognizes the vibration before your brain can even process it. Create a vibrational space in your home with incense, crystals, 432 Hz music, sacred symbols, nature. A space where your field can remember who you are. Sound and mantras. Sound is one of the most powerful ways to alter frequencies. Harmonic chanting, mantras, Tibetan bowls, binaural beats, all act directly on your nervous and energetic system. Chanting a mantra for just 5 minutes with presence can elevate your field for hours. Sound, when repeated with intention, rewrites your vibration. 7-day vibrational elevation ritual. Here's a simple suggestion to begin today. Day 1, 10 minutes of silence plus conscious breathing. Day 2, nature walk plus active listening. Day 3, living food plus gratitude before eating. Day 4, creative visualization plus binaural music. Day 5, social media fast plus uplifting reading. Day 6, ritual bath with sea salt and herbs. Day 7, guided meditation plus vibrational intention letter. These practices, when done with intention, not only elevate your frequency, they re-educate your body, mind, and field to sustain the new vibration. Vibration doesn't change through force. It changes through presence, through repetition, through love. And the more you care for your energy, the more you notice everything around you beginning to reflect that new state. There is no leap without preparation, but there is silent alchemy in small choices. And you now have the power to refine your frequency, and with it, your reality. You can meditate every day, eat well, recite powerful affirmations. But if there are invisible holes in your energy field, all that energy might be leaking silently, like water seeping through barely noticeable cracks. And maybe, without realizing it, you're becoming your own source of drainage. Let's take an honest and courageous look at the main vibrational saboteurs and how to spot them before they empty your field. Have you ever left a conversation feeling more tired than when you arrived? Or walked into a space that felt heavy without knowing why? That happens because vibrational fields communicate. And when your field is too open or unprotected, it absorbs the frequency of others even without your consent. This isn't about labeling anyone as toxic. It's about recognizing momentary vibrational incompatibilities. Sometimes a simple interaction can leave a trace of fatigue, discouragement, or anxiety. Tip: after social interactions, take a deep breath and ask, is this mine, or am I carrying something that doesn't belong to me? Environments also hold vibrational memory. Places filled with noise, rush, visual and emotional pollution tend to destabilize the subtle field. The ideal? Whenever possible, rebalance yourself in breathing spaces with natural light, silence, nature, or harmonic music. The mind can be your temple or your prison. And some of the biggest energy leaks come from repetitive mental patterns such as constant worry, living in the future, recurring guilt, living in the past, excessive comparison, living outside yourself, chronic self-criticism, living in self-diminishment. These thoughts drain your energy because they fill your field with dense frequencies, usually tied to fear, insecurity, and scarcity. Key question: if I didn't have this thought, how would my body feel right now? Just that pause already begins to close the leaks. The biggest energetic sabotage happens when heart, mind, and action are out of sync. You say yes when you mean no. You do something to please others, but feel resentment inside. You set mental goals, but your body vibrates discouragement. This inner fragmentation creates energetic incoherence, which your field interprets as a signal error. The result? Exhaustion, confusion, and blocked manifestations. The solution begins with an honest question. Am I being true to my vibrational truth in this moment? You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be real. What you consume with your eyes and ears also enters your field. News, social media, shows, music, everything carries emotional frequencies. Are you feeding on fear or hope? On comparison or inspiration? On noise or presence? Simple practice. Do a 24-hour digital fast once a week. Notice how your body responds. Silence reveals the original frequency behind the overload. Caring for your energy is not a spiritual luxury. It's vibrational self-defense. Because when you seal the leaks, everything begins to flow more lightly again. The trapped energy reorganizes. The field expands. And suddenly, what once felt impossible begins to happen. Not because you forced it, but because you stopped wasting power. Remember, energy is power, but wasted power becomes weakness. We've reached the end of this journey, but in truth, what opens now is the beginning of another, more intimate, more silent, more powerful. You've come to understand that you are not just a body, nor an isolated mind, nor a reflection of the world around you. You are a living, pulsing, moldable field. And that field vibrates all the time, even when you're silent, even when you're doing nothing. You are the frequency, not the frequency you wish for, but the one you sustain. And that frequency is the invisible foundation of your reality. Everything you see on the outside, encounters, opportunities, conflicts, synchronicities, is responding to that field. Life doesn't happen against you. It responds to you. That's why true transformation doesn't require control over the outer world. It requires inner coherence. To ask with the mind, feel with the heart, act with the body, aligned, present. You can keep believing that you're a victim of chance, or you can recognize yourself as the vibrational architect of your experience. The choice is yours. It always has been. And maybe now, for the first time, you truly know that. So take a deep breath. Feel the field around you. And remember, you don't need to convince the universe of anything. You only need to vibrate what you wish to see. Because in the end, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And starting today, you can be exactly what you choose to vibrate.